This lesson is going to focus on introductions and conclusions to paragraphs because your readers want to know what you're going to be writing about, and this lesson is going to teach you how. We always write a paragraph to introduce a topic for an essay, and the focus on the essay is to grab the reader's attention and help them really make them want to read our essay. But the focus of an introduction to a paragraph is really to introduce the supporting detail. It does not need to be a grabber. It needs to state the main idea for your paragraph. Well, let's look at some. I know I want to write a paragraph about the skeleton of a bat. I want my readers to learn that the bones of the fingers stretch the skin, which makes the wings. So my introduction to my paragraph needs to state my main idea in a sentence, and then I'm going to give them the extra details in the actual paragraph. So let's write it. I was excited to write this paragraph because when I read the text, it was interesting to know that the bat was so unique that its skeleton was what made the wings. Oh, I think I just got my idea. Let's try this. A bat's skeleton creates a very unique animal. This sentence lets my readers know that I'm going to be writing about the bat skeleton, and I'm going to be giving supporting details on why its skeleton makes it a unique animal. So my supporting details will fit perfectly underneath that umbrella of a great main idea sentence. Let's try another one. I want to write a paragraph about how the exoskeleton of a crab causes the crab to shed its skin, or molt. So let's write it. I'm thinking about why I want to write this paragraph first. And again, I was excited to hear that when a crab grew, it molted, or it actually shed its skin. I think I've got my idea now. I'm going to write a question to begin my paragraph. Did you know a crab can shed? This is a simple sentence, but it gives my readers the main focus of what my paragraph is going to be about. How a crab can shed. My supporting details will use these great words like exoskeleton, and I'll give more information, but this is the umbrella for my great detailed paragraph. This is the last one we're going to do together, so you need to make sure that you have your worksheet in front of you because you're going to write down this example to help you write your own later. The paragraph that I want to write next is going to be about the skeleton of a fish. I want to write a paragraph explaining how the fish has a simple skeleton compared to other animals. So let's think about this. I'm telling my reader how simple a skeleton can be, even no matter the size. All fish have a simple skeleton. I think I've got my idea. All fish, no matter the size, have one thing in common: a simple skeleton. Now, I am going to tell my readers, as I continue with my details, what makes a simple skeleton for a fish, and that they have a skull, and that they're all the same no matter what. And this gives me that umbrella for a great detailed paragraph. Pause the video and make sure that you've written down this example because you might need it later. Now let's think about the conclusion. The purpose of a conclusion in an essay is to summarize your main message and leave your readers with a feeling of closure, like you finished. The readers should have gotten your message and left then after reading your entire essay with new knowledge. The conclusion sentence does about the same thing in paragraphs. It summarizes the main idea and wraps up your thinking on that subject. So let's try a few. I'm back to the skeleton of a bat. Again, I want my readers to learn that the bones of the fingers stretch the skin which makes the wings. My conclusion needs to kind of restate my introduction to remind my readers what I want them to learn or remember. So let's try it. My introduction read, "A bat skeleton creates a very unique mammal." What made the bat skeleton unique was that it made the mammal fly. There's my conclusion. Who knew a skeleton could help a mammal fly? That's really what I want my readers to remember. Mammals generally don't fly. But because the bat skin stretches over and creates wings, there we go. So my conclusion wraps up what I want them to remember. The skeleton causes the bat, a mammal, to fly. Let's think back to the paragraph about the exoskeleton of a crab and how it causes the crab to shed its skin or molt. My introduction said, "Did you know a crab can shed?" I want to wrap up my thinking so my readers know that because it has an exoskeleton, it sheds. So, if you see a bit of crab shell on the beach, it's just a crab shedding. So again, I restated my purpose, the crab shed. That blue doesn't turn out very well, so I'm sorry I used it. And let's take a look at the last one. Again, this is going to be our last example together, so you want to have your worksheet out. This paragraph is going to be about the skeleton of the fish. I want to write a paragraph explaining how it has a simple skeleton. So my introduction read, "All fish, no matter the size, have one thing in common, a simple skeleton." So I'm going to summarize it. Let's face it. Fish skeletons are simple. I just rephrased my main idea. Pause the video so you can write this one down on your example. Now let's take a look. In conclusion, when writing an introduction, you want to state the main idea. You want to put the big picture of your essay out there for your readers. They'll know what you're writing about. When writing a conclusion, you're going to restate your main idea a bit differently, and you're summarizing what you want them to learn. Now it's time for you to practice. You're going to finish the practice items on your worksheet. You'll write an introduction and a conclusion for each of the examples, and you might find that some of them look a little familiar. Make sure you put your name on your paper and turn it in where your teacher tells you to. Good luck!